Good morning, boys and girls. I have a special story for you today. It's called How Big is a Million? And it is by Anna Milbourne and Serena Rigoletti. Let's see how big a million is. Pipkin was a very small penguin who was always asking very big questions. How wide is the sea? How high is the sky? Is the moon made out of cheese? But the thing he wanted to know most of all was how big is a million? He went to ask his mama, but she was busy catching breakfast. It's important to have a full tummy when you're asking such big questions. Pipkin counted the fish as his mama had caught and found that there were 10. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good counting, boys and girls. 10 is a big number of fish for breakfast, he said. But if 10 is this big, how big is a million? A million's more fish than you could ever eat, said Mama. A million's much, much, much more than 10. Pipkin thought about this for a while, and he tried to imagine much, much more than 10. It's no good, he said at last. I'll have to go and find a million to know for sure how big it is. Oh, good luck, called Mama as she watched him go. How big do you think a million is? Pipkin walked a little way and found a crowd of penguins. They were huddled in a circle, keeping warm. That's a lot of penguins, Pipkin thought. There are much, much more than 10. Excuse me, he called. How many of you are there? 100, he said, in the middle of the penguin. And I'm the warmest one of all. A 100's a very big number, said Pipkin. If 100's this big, how big is a million? A million's much, much bigger than 100, the middle penguin said. But 100 is enough to keep you warm and toasty. Would you like to join us? No, thank you, said Pipkin. I have to find a million. He set off again through the deep white snow. After a while, his feet got tired of walking, so he slid on his tummy down a steep hill. He bumped into a seal cub. He was doing much the same thing. Then, ever so quietly, it began to snow. There's a lot of snowflakes, Pipkin whispered. There are more than 100 and much, much more than 10. No, said the seal cub, but I'm sure there are 1,000. And there really were. 1,000 is a really big number, said Pipkin. If 1,000's this big, how big is a million? The seal cub wrinkled his nose. Well, he said, a million's much, much bigger than 1,000. Pipkins and the seal cub built a snow penguin and a snow seal cub and threw far too many snowballs to count. Then Pipkin said, I really have to go. I have to find my million. Good luck, said the seal cub. Pipkin walked and walked and walked around the South Pole and back home again. His toes were cold and he was sleepy all over, and he hadn't found a million of anything at all. Pipkin was a very, very disappointed penguin, he said to his mommy. I found 10 yummy fish, 100 warm penguins, 1,000 pretty snowflakes, and a brand new friend. But I couldn't find a million, however hard I tried. Mama gave him a big warm hug. Come outside, she said. I've got something to show you. Here's your million, said my little Pip. And you can make a wish on every single one. That way to see how big a million is. Open the envelope to see what Pipkin saw. Well, let's open the envelope and see what he saw. What do you think that he saw? Did he see stars? What did Pipkin see that his mom took him to show him a million? Let's open up this poster and see. Oh my goodness, it's so big. Miss C has got to stand up. Let's see. Whoa. What did he see, boys and girls? Do you see what he saw? Those are stars. There's a million stars in the sky, and I'm sure there's much more than a million. But Pipkin got to see his million and got to see how big a million is because his mama took him outside and showed him all the stars in the sky and showed him that you can wish on those stars too. I hope you enjoyed that story as much as I did, boys and girls. And I hope that you all have a great Monday. I miss you all so much, and I can't wait to get back to the classroom. Bye, guys.